Did Phil explain why he's speaking out now?
He said he's speaking out because he believes Diddy's a predator. He wants accountability and he doesn't want someone like this to run unchecked in the future.
So apparently Diddy's knee has been bothering him recently, so he reported it. At some point, it was decided that he needed medical care outside of the jail, so he was taken to a Brooklyn home.
Sean Diddy Combs, a name synonymous with the glitz and glamour of the entertainment world, finds himself embroiled in a legal nightmare that could shatter his empire. Yet, as the music mogul faces some of the most serious allegations of his lifetime, his children seem to be living in a completely different universe. A universe of luxury, leisure, and limitless spending. The juxtaposition is striking and it's got everyone talking. So while Diddy prepares for the fight of his life, his kids are jet-setting to exotic locations, flaunting designer goods, and living a life that most people can only dream of. The glaring disparity between their carefree indulgence and their father's precarious situation is almost surreal.
Diddy's mom has finally spoken out amidst everything that is happening right now. Janice Small Combs provided a statement to some outlets via her attorney. So she starts off by saying it's very heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies.
Let's paint the picture. Diddy, the man who once ruled the music industry with an iron grip and a Midas touch, is currently behind bars awaiting trial. The charges hanging over his head aren't just damaging, they have the potential to tarnish everything he's built over decades. Yet his family, instead of lying low or rallying behind him in a show of solidarity, is putting their extravagance on full display for the world to see. And make no mistake, this isn't subtle. From jaw-dropping vacations to high-end shopping sprees, Diddy's kids are pulling out all the stops, and they're documenting every second of it on social media. Take Christian Combs, for example, better known by his stage name King Combs. While his father faces a mountain of legal trouble, Christian has been busy soaking up the sun on pristine beaches and indulging in lavish purchases that scream luxury. On his Instagram, Christian recently shared clips of himself frolicking on a gorgeous beach with his youngest sibling, Love Sean Combs, who's only 2 years old. But it doesn't stop there. Paparazzi snapped photos of Christian stepping out of an SUV, practically bursting with shopping bags from high-end brands. And if that weren't enough, he's been spotted at luxury boutiques picking up diamond-encrusted watches and designer jackets. The cherry on top? His girlfriend, Raven Tracy, has been tagging along and sharing their escapades, which include camel rides in Mexico, spa days, and yacht parties. Christian, of course, accessorizes these moments with his signature oversized diamond chain, a not-so-subtle reminder of the family fortune.
Today, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
But Christian isn't the only one living it up. The Combs twins, Delilah and Jesse, recently turned heads with their Instagram posts from State Barts. Decked out in matching Christian Dior bikinis, the twins lounged aboard a sleek yacht, soaking up the sun and sipping on what appeared to be drinks served in crystal glasses. They're aesthetic, opulent, and unapologetic. Their social media followers, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, couldn't get enough of the extravagant backdrop. Clear blue waters, a luxurious yacht, and designer swimwear to boot. It's like a scene out of a movie, except this is their reality. Then there's Chance Combs, who's been making waves of her own. On her Instagram, she recently shared snapshots of a horseback ride along a sandy beach, looking every bit the picture of serenity and privilege. Chance, who has aspirations of becoming an actress, has also been attending amusement parks and other high-profile events, all while maintaining an effortlessly glamorous image. At just 19 years old, she's already a pro at projecting the kind of lifestyle that most people only encounter in glossy magazines.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
And let's not forget Quincy Combs, Diddy's eldest son, who's also been indulging in some much-needed R&R. Quincy opted for a beach vacation as well, sharing photos of himself lounging and enjoying the perks of being part of one of the wealthiest families in entertainment. His vibe? Relaxed, yet undeniably chic. While Diddy battles his legal woes, Quincy seems to have taken a page out of the Treat Yourself handbook, and who can blame him? If you've got access to private jets and five-star resorts, why not make the most of it? Now, speaking of private jets, let's talk about the family's travel habits. Diddy's private jet has been clocking more air miles than ever before, shuttling his kids to destinations like Hawaii, California, Texas, Florida, Mexico, Italy, and even India. According to flight data, the jet has also made stops in Ireland, Canada, and St. Martin. And let's not forget the fuel costs associated with these trips. As one insider put it, jet fuel ain't cheap. Every time that jet takes off, it costs thousands just for the fuel. That's not even factoring in the cost of the luxury accommodations, the personal chefs, or the endless stream of designer shopping halls.
This is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
But here's where things get even more intriguing. Sources close to the family claim that the kids are also giving away cash to their friends. Yes, you heard that right. Apparently, it's not enough to bask in the glow of their father's fortune. They're also spreading the wealth among their inner circle. When the cat's away, what do the mice do? One insider quipped. With him waiting in jail for this trial, those kids are doing whatever they want. This carefree attitude has sparked a wave of criticism online, with many questioning whether Diddy's children truly understand the gravity of his situation. After all, their father's net worth has already taken a significant hit. Forbes estimated his fortune at around $400 million last year, a sharp decline from the $740 million he was worth in 2019. And with lawsuits piling up and radio stations pulling his music from playlists, the financial strain is only expected to grow. One source close to Diddy put it bluntly, they're acting like he's been convicted already. They don't seem to realize that this money isn't endless. But are the kids really oblivious, or are they simply putting on a brave face for the cameras? That's the million-pound question. What's clear is that their actions are raising eyebrows, and the public reaction has been a mix of fascination and outrage. On one hand, there's a morbid curiosity about how the other half lives, especially in such extraordinary circumstances. On the other hand, there's a growing sense of resentment toward the Combs family for flaunting their wealth at a time when their patriarch is under such intense scrutiny. And let's not forget the irony here. Diddy, a man known for his larger-than-life persona and his infamous mantra of "can't stop, won't stop," now finds himself unable to exert any control over his own narrative. He's stuck in a jail cell, his reputation hanging by a thread while his children are out there living their best lives. It's a stark reminder that even in the world of the ultra-wealthy, family dynamics can be complicated, and loyalty isn't always guaranteed. For now, the Combs family seems content to ride this wave of luxury, despite the clouds looming on the horizon. But how long can this charade last? Will the mounting legal and financial pressures force them to reevaluate their priorities? Or will they continue to live in their bubble of privilege, insulated from the harsh realities facing their father? Only time will tell.
So it sounded crazy, like I said before. They said that 2,300 people reached out to the law firm, and out of the 2,300 people, I guess they decided to go with just a little over 100, which seems like it's they just put out the number and everybody's calling to see if they can get a check.
It's insane. It's insane. Now, again, he did say that nothing has been filed yet because he says he wants to make sure that they do their due diligence and get this right.
As we transition to the next chapter of this unfolding drama, one can't help but wonder, is their lavish lifestyle a form of escapism, or is it a calculated move to distract from the scandal? And what, if anything, will be left of the Combs family legacy once the dust settles? Hold on to those questions, because there's so much more to unpack when it comes to Diddy's legal battles and the ripple effects they're having on his family. And as the extravagance of Sean Diddy Combs' children continues to dominate headlines and social media feeds, there's an ominous undercurrent lurking beneath all the glitz and glamour. While the family attempts to maintain an image of carefree indulgence, the truth is that Diddy's legal troubles are casting a long shadow. And it's not just him in the spotlight anymore. The allegations against the music mogul are anything but ordinary, and they've already begun to ripple through his inner circle, pulling some of his children into the fray. The family dynamic is growing increasingly complex, and the question on everyone's mind is, how much longer can the Combs clan keep up appearances before the weight of these accusations comes crashing down?
This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
For those who've been following Diddy's story, the allegations he's facing are as shocking as they are extensive. This isn't just a case of a celebrity caught in a scandal. This is a full-scale legal battle with potentially devastating consequences. The accusations against him include serious claims of coercion and racketeering, and they've led to multiple lawsuits and federal investigations. But the drama doesn't stop there. What's even more surprising is that some of his children have now found themselves tangled in this web of accusations. That's right, this isn't just about Diddy anymore. The spotlight has shifted, and it's dragging others into the narrative. Let's start with Christian Combs, better known as King Combs. While Christian has been making headlines for his lavish lifestyle and flashy social media posts, He's also become the subject of a serious lawsuit. Grace O'Markey, a former steward who worked aboard a yacht chartered by Diddy, has accused Christian of inappropriate behavior during a trip in late December 2022. According to her complaint, what was supposed to be a high-profile but wholesome family gathering quickly turned into an environment of chaos and excess. O'Markey alleges that Christian's actions left her deeply shaken and have had lasting effects on her personal and professional life. The details she's shared are troubling, and they paint a picture of a party culture that's anything but glamorous.
We are not done, and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
O'Markey claims she was simply doing her job, providing dinner and drink service on the yacht, when Christian allegedly began to cross the line. The complaint describes him as heavily under the influence when he boarded the boat, and O'Markey alleges that he pressured her to join in on the festivities. She's even provided what she claims are audio recordings from that night, which reportedly capture her repeatedly refusing his advances. In one recording, she can allegedly be heard saying, "I have to go back to work," while Christian insists she stay with him. These recordings, if verified, could add significant weight to her case. And it doesn't end there. O'Markey also alleges that Christian's behavior escalated later in the evening, culminating in an incident that left her visibly distressed. Her complaint includes photos of bruising, which she claims were caused by the encounter. She says she reported the incident to the yacht's captain the following day, but was met with disbelief and inaction. According to O'Markey, not only was her complaint dismissed, but she also faced retaliation that eventually led to her losing her job. The emotional toll of the experience, she claims, has been immense. She's described struggling with anxiety, sleeplessness, and other lasting impacts that she attributes to that night on the yacht.
That with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone. So
Christian's legal team has vehemently denied the allegations, calling them baseless and part of an effort to capitalize on the broader scandal surrounding his father. But the timing of the lawsuit is undeniably significant. It comes at a moment when the Combs family is already under intense scrutiny, and it raises questions about how much of this behavior may have been influenced by their father's lifestyle. After all, Diddy himself has been accused of creating an environment where excess and indulgence were not only encouraged, but expected. Speaking of Diddy, his own legal troubles are still unfolding, and they're nothing short of explosive. Federal agents have raided his properties in both Los Angeles and Miami, reportedly seizing items that could serve as evidence in the ongoing investigations. These raids weren't just routine, they were described as highly coordinated operations involving multiple agencies, and while Diddy has maintained his innocence, the sheer scale of these investigations suggests that authorities are leaving no stone unturned. Among the items reportedly seized were electronic devices and other materials that could potentially corroborate the allegations against him.
Well, Sierra, anything's possible, right? But now this judge has an even harder time, I think, because the past judge locked him up, didn't let him out, and he's still there available for trial. If the new judge lets him out on bond and something goes wrong, and this isn't the analysis that I'm proud to make, right? We shouldn't be saying, well, judges are worried about their own skin and how they look if something bad happens.
What's particularly unsettling is how these allegations have begun to blur the lines between Diddy's personal and professional lives. According to reports, some of his business associates have also been implicated, raising questions about whether this was a case of individual misconduct or something more systemic. These allegations have sparked a wave of lawsuits, with multiple individuals coming forward to share their stories. The common thread in many of these accounts is a culture of excess and entitlement, one that seems to have permeated every aspect of Diddy's world. This brings us back to the question of how his children fit into all of this. While Christian is the only one facing legal action at the moment, the entire family has been thrust into the spotlight. The public statements they've made in support of their father have been met with mixed reactions. On one hand, their loyalty is understandable. After all, this is their father and they're standing by him during a difficult time. But on the other hand, their unwavering support has also been criticized as tone-deaf, especially in light of the severity of the allegations against him. Their public declaration that they stand united with Diddy has been interpreted by some as an attempt to deflect attention from the more troubling aspects of the case.
By everything, they're going to try to transfer him, they're going to try to get him out. In a normal case where it's a high-profile person or a well-funded person, the prosecution and the judge is a little bit more concerned about wrongful prosecution because people that are mad that they're being arrested for a crime they didn't commit can turn around and file for malicious prosecution.
And yet, even as they rally around their father, the cracks in the family's united front are beginning to show. The lavish lifestyle they're showcasing on social media has only added fuel to the fire, with many accusing them of being out of touch with reality. The optics of their behavior couldn't be worse. While Diddy sits in a jail cell, his children are gallivanting around the world, seemingly unfazed by the storm brewing around them. It's a stark contrast that's hard to ignore, and it raises questions about their priorities and their awareness of the gravity of the situation. But perhaps the most pressing question is what all of this means for the future of the Combs family. Diddy's trial is set to begin in May, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If convicted, the consequences could be catastrophic, not just for him, but for his entire family. The financial impact alone would be significant, potentially jeopardizing the lavish lifestyle his children have grown accustomed to. And then there's the question of public perception. Even if Diddy manages to clear his name, the damage to his reputation may be irreversible. The Combs name, once synonymous with success and glamour, is now under a cloud of suspicion, and it's not clear if they'll ever be able to shake it.
Every jail is bad, and some jails are worse than others. And the problem, again, is if you move him, why is he getting special treatment? And maybe he's earned special treatment. Maybe what he's done, maybe he's given so much back to his fans and to the world and to charity that maybe there's a way that it plays out in the end. But again, to go into court and say this jail is bad, move him to another jail, is not your first argument. That's sort of the...
As for Christian, his legal battle is just beginning. The lawsuit filed by Omar K could take months, if not years, to resolve, and the outcome is far from certain. In the meantime, his reputation has already taken a hit, and it's unclear how this will affect his budding career in music and entertainment. For someone who's worked hard to step out of his father's shadow, this is a setback he likely didn't anticipate. And let's not forget the other members of the Combs family. While they may not be directly involved in the legal battles, they're certainly feeling the impact. Their every move is being scrutinized, and the pressure to maintain a united front must be immense. But as the allegations continue to pile up, it's becoming increasingly difficult for them to keep up appearances. The cracks are starting to show, and it's only a matter of time before the facade crumbles entirely. So where does this leave us? The Combs family is at a crossroads, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Will they be able to weather this storm and come out on the other side? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of the most iconic families in entertainment? Share your thoughts and comments with us in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.